Right, maybe they don't have their cameras on. Maybe not.
Yeah, there's. Yeah. Liz, is this your meeting? If you,
How do you change the gallery view? Because I'd love to see more of you.
the three dots down by
Okay.
then at the very top of that list, it says change layout.
Oh, thank you.
And then you
So
should be able to just, but to Kara's point, I don't know, I can't get every single person on my screen. So
Yeah.
it seems to be limited.
Same.
And so Liz, is this your meeting or is it Vicky's?
Well, I set up the meeting, so I would think it would be mine, but I can't seem to change the settings, so I'm gonna keep looking.
I think
Okay.
I am recording, but I'll record the audio at least on my phone as well. So one way or another, hopefully we've got everyone, but we do have how many people? 35 people joining us today, which is a thrill, an absolute thrill. So I think we probably have multiple hosts here in different ways and different people will be taking over, but I'll just get us started. And I thought I might sing a rendition of the Rose Family song that was written this summer to help us all memorize the 12 children of Donald and Marjorie Rose. So I do believe it's difficult for us to sing as a group online, so stay muted. I'll sing it through, but please sing with me. And I will, so I am doing multiple shares, but let me see if I can share the lyrics here. Let's see.
Oh, Victoria. Okay.
Let's see.
Yes.
There. This is interesting.
So we're lip syncing with our mics off, right?
Yes, that's the plan. But my sharing for Google Meet disappeared. But why? Oh, here we go. Got it. Present now. Let's try this. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to put the lyrics in the chat. I think that will be easier to read. So, all right, can you see that in the chat? Okay, so this is a song, we, in the Grubb family, we have a song that helps us remember all the kids in order, and it's been very valuable and really helpful over the years. So we made one this summer so that we could do the same for the Rose family. So it's to the tune of Beethoven's Ninth Ode to Joy. Ready. It goes. Marjorie of the Wells family met a Brit called Donald Rose. They got married in Brenathan. Look at how this family grows. Trin and Leon, Roy and Muriel, Stanley, Sylvia, Jack and Midge, Frank and Kenneth, Donnet, Donald. We will need a bigger fridge. All right. So keep rehearsing it. We'll do a big group rendition when we can figure it out electronically or be together in person. So please sing that to yourself over the holiday. So we had this brainstorm that it would be nice to read Pop-Pop's poem about the day after Christmas, on the day after Christmas, and hopefully it becomes an annual tradition to revisit this poem and think about the creativity of the Rose family. So we have a few fearless helpers that have put together a roster of readers. I wanted to just quickly share a couple of photos. I don't have the right photos of the Rose family today, but I do have some photos to set the mood. So this poem was written in the 1930s. I don't recall what year. Neil Genslinger, do you know what year this poem was written?
I think so. I still want to confirm that, but I believe it was written in 1931 based on the way Don introduced it when he reprinted it in Full House, and also based on what he was doing in 1931 and what day, December 26th, fell on in 1931. That's where my guess is right now,
Okay,
1931.
Nineteen
Which is,
thirty-one.
most people associate it with the Bulletin because the Bulletin reprinted it now and again over the years, but in fact, it was written for the Public Ledger originally, which was Don's first job in journalism.
Okay, public ledger. That's very helpful. Chaz was just holding up an image, a photo of the family, if you can get him on your screen. And there's some family, there's some faces. Thanks, Chaz. Beautiful. And that's in, what book was that, Chaz? Go ahead and unmute.
That's Full House.
That was
Full
Full
House.
House.
He's Full
Great.
House.
Good. Well, I will just share a couple of period photos to set the mood, even if they're not our own loved ones. Let me share.
It was actually published in Hardy Perennial.
Oh,
Is that
I didn't know that it was also in Hardy Perennial.
Okay. Great. Let me get, okay. Let's share this and we'll just show you. Right. Sharing on here is different. I've almost got it. Here we go. There it is. Okay.
I can do the audio recording on my phone if you like to have one less thing to do.
I think we're good, but I would say yes, double it up, double it up.
All right. sure
Okay,
will.
just a few images to set the mood. I did not know that this was not for the Inquirer because that's the paper that I associate pop-up with. So I'll just share a few things.
He never worked for the Inquirer.
Well, I should have checked with the real historians. We'll breeze past those, but I just
The
have
bulletin part.
a few images, the bulletin. So here's a circa 1930s style Santa image from a book that I thought really gives the feeling of what they might have been seeing and consuming. Here is a newspaper from Philadelphia, circa that time period. Santa, and here's a nice image that may have been characteristic of the time of carolers in the 1930s and what they might have been wearing and the way that they might have been presenting themselves. Here is in the poem, they talk about some of the toys that may have been received over this Christmas. And here's a nice image of a contemporary drawings of those types of toys that Santa might have brought to the Rose family at that time. Some of you may even have some of these toys and objects from that time in your possession. Here's another, nothing to do with pop-up, but here's a street in Philadelphia from that time period as well. You can see the period cars and the period dress and the feel of that type of shopping that they might have been doing in downtown Philly at that time. And one more image of some of the artwork and advertising that they may have been seeing. And you might even recognize that artistic style from some of the artwork that Leon did for some of the books. It looks a little bit to me like some of those drawings that were done at that time.
Vicky, Mark has a hand up.
All right, I will.
Well, I was, you mentioned the old cars and the pictures are up there. I happen to have, this is a battery cell for a Model A Ford, the wooden box. Let me see if I can get it.
Let me stop
I
presenting.
don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, let me stop presenting so you're bigger. Go ahead. If you hold it in front of your, Mark, hold it in front of your chest. Yeah. If you hold it right in front of you, we might be able to see it.
Anyway, this is a battery for a Model A Ford.
Oh,
And all the way up to the Model T.
very cool.
It's a wooden box, lead acid battery. Buddy of mine's got like a couple thousand of them. I just thought that was, you showed pictures of the cars and here's the batteries that ran
Love
little
it.
tiny things,
Wow.
and it only, they crank. So these just ran the light.
Amazing.
And but it's still, you can't see it, but there's holes drilled in it with lead where they poured the lead in. But anyway, I thought that was
So that would have been very familiar to Pop Pop as he was writing this
Yeah.
poem.
very much so.
Thank you, Mark. So without further ado, I will turn this over to our master of ceremonies for the poem, Neil, who can get us started.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm coming to you from Caribou, Maine, which is a very Christmassy sounding place where my older daughter lives. And I'm wearing, if you can see it, the red suit coat that my father, Bob Genslinger, would break out at this time of year for the occasion. So we have prepared for you this evening a reading of the poem. I know a lot of you read this poem at this time of year aloud, some of you and in a group setting, but I'm pretty sure this is the first ever multi-state, multi-generational, multi-clan rendering of the poem that has ever been attempted. There are 8 stanzas to the poem, and so I have 8 clans represented in the readers I've lined up, and these readers have been practicing for months, I say months, to render their particular stanza of this work, which as I said earlier, I think may have been written in 1931. It's a parody, obviously, of a poem that everyone in the country knows the first couple lines of anyway, The Night Before Christmas, although when that poem was first published in 1828, I think 1823, in a newspaper in Troy, New York, its actual title was A Visit from St. Nicholas. That poem, incidentally, there are scholars who say that poem is the best known poem ever written by an American, The Night Before Christmas. And what's interesting to me is that it was originally published anonymously in this newspaper in Troy, New York. A couple of years later, a man named Clement Moore took credit for it, Clement Clark Moore. Scholars more recently have cast some doubt on whether he actually wrote it, and have guessed another dude might have written it. But in any case, it was a gift to parodists everywhere because it was a poem that was ripe for parodying, and that's what our own Don Rose did in the early 30s when he wrote the poem we're about to read. As I say, I believe this was probably first published either in one of the Stuff and Nonsense books, pamphlets, or in the Public Ledger, which was where he was writing a Sunday column. This is why my detective work has pegged it to 31, is because he mentions when he reprints it in Full House, he mentions that he wrote it about 20 years ago, and on a Christmas Eve when he had a column due in 2 days, and that aligns with what day of the week December 26th was in 1931. Anyway, and it was republished periodically after that at this time of year, especially in the Bulletin. It's the perfect thing to republish because it falls on the deadest news day of the year, and it's long and it eats up a lot of space in a printed paper. And it was even republished after Don died in '63. The last republishing I found was, I think, in 1972 in the Bulletin. And if you're a journalist, which I was, you very quickly become accustomed to the idea that your work is completely ephemeral. It's current for a day, and then it's birdcage liner after that. And so I'm sure it would have stunned Don Rose to know that his poem was still being reprinted after his death, and it would please him very much to know that his family was still reading it almost a century after he wrote it. Your readers today, they're going to present the piece in generational order, starting with Trin and on down. I'm sorry to the Kens, the Mitches, the Franks, and the Stans and the Jacks who are not represented here, but your readers are in order: Isaac Sanchez from Clan Trin, Penny Rhodes from Clan Leon, Jessica Mazzoli from Clan Roy, Jeannie Genslinger from Clan Muriel, Cara Dawn from Clan Still, Jeremy Rose from Clan Frank, Karen Childs from Clan Donette, and I think Michelle Rose is going to finish off from Clan Don. And I will, Isaac, get ready, because I'm going to introduce the piece by reading what Don wrote about it when he reprinted it in Full House, and that'll be your lead in to take it away, Isaac, if you're out there somewhere. This is what Don wrote when he reprinted the piece in Full House, which was published in 1951. About 20 years ago, on a busy Christmas Eve, there was nothing to write about to fill a column for 2 days later. The fundamental rule and first principle of conducting a newspaper column is that there is never anything to write about. Yet the column must be written even though it is Christmas Eve and high time for a man of family to do his seasonal shopping. In desperation, I turned to parody, the lowest form of poetry, and scribbled some verses which made more impression on my faithful readers than any other contribution I have made to American literature. They have been reprinted a dozen times, and it might as well be done again. Isaac, start us off with the day after Christmas.
All right, am I audible for everyone?
Yes.
All right, first stanza. 'Twas the day after Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, but me and my spouse. And I would have willingly slumbered again, but had to get up for the 7:50 train. The children were nestled, all snug in their beds, together with kitty cars, engines, and sleds. And Mama was yawning, and so was I too, as mamas and papas are likely to do, who lately have finished a strenuous day and shared in their family's innocent play.
So I figured it closely and thought that perhaps I still might have time for a couple of naps, when from the alarm clock there came such a clatter, I knew in a moment what must be the matter. It must be, alas, about 7:28, and I'd better get up, or else I'd be late. So I sprang from my bed, if that's the right word, though to spring before breakfast is simply absurd. Away to the window I flew like a flash, and parted the curtains and shut down the sash, cut off the alarm clock and shuffled away to ready myself for another tough day.
The sun on the bathroom's linoleum floor showed a litter of things that were not there before, including a rabbit with only one eye, a red rubber doll, and the second son's tie, some sections of track and parts of a train, and a rather decrepit mechanical crane. In the bathtub was water, a cast iron truck, 3 apples, a boat, and a celluloid duck.
So I washed myself partly and put on the socks that Santa Claus sent me, 6 pairs in a box. 2 sizes too small, and I shudder to think what I'm going to do if they happen to shrink. A new shirt from Santa Claus, too, for my sins, all fastened together with 64 pins. And then down to breakfast, and what should appear but some skates on the stairs, and it fell on my ear. So I sat on the stairs with the skates sitting under, saying, "Dash it," and "Darn it," and "Lightning and thunder." What I shouldn't have said, as I figured too late, but it's hard to keep calm when you sit on a skate.
And now to my breakfast, with nothing to eat save fruitcake and raisins and cold turkey meat. And if it turns out that for 4 months or 5, I don't see a turkey, I think I'll survive. And I didn't find out till I sat in the chair that someone had left a box of paints there. and the house seemed quite cold, and there wasn't much doubt that somehow or other the furnace was out. So I lit it again, feeling low in my soul, and wished that old Santa would send me some coal instead of 3 ashtrays and 6 pair of socks and 50 cigars in a holiday box.
Then I ran for the train, having missed the first 2, which is something I frequently manage to do, and stopped for the mail, expecting the worst, though the bills won't arrive until January 1st, and found 9 more cards from friends whom I'd missed when I made out last Christmas my Christmas card list. I suppose I should send them a greeting of cheer to reach them in time for a happy new year. But I've bought enough postage stamps lately, I bet, to pay off 1/3 of the national debt.
Was the day after Christmas, and all around town, the people were taking the mistletoe down. The stores were deserted, the toy counters bare, and never a sign of a Santa Claus there. And where were the customers, merry and bright, all loaded with packages, heavy and light? Where was the merchandise? Where were the toys? Where were the shoppers, the girls and the boys?
So Christmas is over with all its gay thrills, and little to show for it now but the bills. A day of good living and giving and laughter, but oh, what a headache the next morning after. And it seems just too bad that the very next day there's work to be done in the usual way. So brothers and sisters, let's all give a cheer that Christmas Day comes only once in the year. And though I don't feel very merry or bright, Happy New Year to all, and to all a good night.
Well done, reader. That was better.
All right, Cara Dom is showing some illustrations. If you can get her tile on your screen, she's got some nice pictures.
Just that one picture that is in Full House along with the poem.
Oh, great.
Pop Pop sitting on a skate.
Yeah, that's my favorite verse of the poem, is the skate sitting verse. And my favorite moment in the poem is when he properly uses the word whom in the 6th stanza. That's anyone else would have used too.
What a treat. Well, let's give a hand to everyone who read aloud, and we might just cycle through those names and what family they're from. If you could help us with that, Neil.
Well, I'll let them introduce themselves. Take it from the top, Isaac, if you're still there.
I'm Isaac.
Say where you are too, where you're coming from.
I'm Isaac of the Rose Clan, coming to everyone live from Arizona.
And you're from the Trin Grub branch.
Yes.
I'm Penny Rose, Leon's oldest daughter, and I'm coming from the Allentown area in Pennsylvania.
Hi, I'm Jessie Mazzoli. My sister Missy is on this call, and my mom Sheila's here. And hi, Kim. We are Roy Rose Clan, and we're all. I'm here in suburban Philadelphia, where my mom is also, and my sister is lucky enough to be in Costa Rica right now.
Me.
I'm Jeannie Genslinger, Muriel's daughter-in-law, Grant's wife, and here in Hawley, Pennsylvania.
I'm Cara Dom. I'm number 6 child of Sylvia, who's the number 5 child, I believe. And I'm in Bernathen, Pennsylvania.
I'm Jeremy Rose in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where we have a lovely coating of snow. I'm of the Frank Rose clan, and I should probably, instead of me, I should hand it over to my mother, Louise Rose, who's also on the call. Say hi.
Yay, Louise!
Yay, Louise!
We didn't reach A today, but we reached 76 degrees.
Wow. 72.
Goodness.
I'm current child of the Donette Allfeld clan. I'm the oldest daughter of Donette, and right now I'm living in Brookfield, Illinois, which is about 10 miles outside of Chicago.
Yay! And I'm Michelle Rose. I'm Donald L. Rose's daughter. And I hail from Brynathan or Trinathan, as it's sometimes called.
I saw that Jacqueline Pillsbury had a hand up. And I don't know the Jacqueline Pillsbury.
Yeah, hi. No, I was just trying to sound like a clap thing, but I hit a hand instead. My first, I just downloaded the app tonight just for y'all.
Okay, so Jackie is my sister-in-law's sister, and that is how famous the Rose organization. We are spreading, we are growing. This is that's my mother-in-law, and so they wanted to be part of it. So thrilling.
Welcome.
Thank
And
you.
we're talking from, New Jersey, right outside of Trenton.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
That's where I live.
Right there.
Did we get
Not there right now, but.
Did we get to the end of the presenters? Did we get everyone?
Yes,
We do.
yes.
All right, we do have some time, so I wanted to do a couple things. One is to just do a quick names around the group. I think name, lineage, location would be great. Before we do that, I just want those of you that are here today that may not have been to an event before to know that this is the part of the Rose organization. This is a newer organization formed in the last couple of years. Lisa Alfelt has been instrumental in that. She has been president, and I will take over that presidency January 1st. We do monthly-ish meetings on different topics. We have a family history interest group going. Liz, if you want to put an email in the chat for people that are interested in joining one of these. So family history interest group is going. We have a health interest group that is going. We've been gathering some de-identified stats on the health trends in the family. I have a dream that there would be a Philadelphia flower show family field trip this year. If anyone's curious and interested about, I can't go because I'm in Arizona, but I love the idea that that would become a new tradition that Pop used to go gather up the leftover flowers after the show and bring them home and plant them for a nice discount and savings. And
He also used to go to construction sites and steal brick.
Yeah.
Maybe we could try that. That would be fun.
Certainly want to promote that, but.
so yeah, so I guess I'll just start since I'm already talking. Victoria Clark, I am also descendant of Trin Grub, and I'm out in Arizona. I will be flying to Chicago in March to watch the listeners, if anyone wants to join in on that trip. So our family has rented our Airbnb, and we're going to be about maybe 8 people. And so that's our big event planned for this year. And so let's start. I'm going to start at the upper left corner, Lisa Alfelt.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lisa, and I'm Donette's, one of Donette's kids, and I'm in the Detroit area, Metro Detroit. And Vicki was nice enough to say that I was instrumental in creating the organization. I just will also want to mention Chaz Grubb, Liz, and Joel Morgan, who's not here, but all did an incredible amount of work to get things going, particularly Joel, and helped me get everything going. So it was certainly a team lift. So
thank you.
And if anyone doesn't know the name of the organization, ROSE, Rose Organization for Socializing and Entertainment. So that's what we're supposed to do with this group: socialize and entertain each other.
Thank you, Lisa. Next, and if you are interested in joining, it's I think $10 a year. Please also email the same address there. Our members are our strength. Penny is next.
Penny Rose, Leon's oldest daughter, and I'm from Pennsylvania, and I hope some of my kids are here, but I doubt it.
Thanks, Penny. Chaz?
Hi, we're on Alden Road.
Bernathen, Pennsylvania.
You need to turn off your phone.
Right.
I think we're getting feedback.
It sounds okay to us.
Oh, well, we're fine. I'm curious what page in Full House the poem is on,
153.
because I didn't find it in time, but I was coming through Hardy Perennial on it, and it's in there with no introduction. And it just
153.
comes right after the stories about stealing bricks.
Yeah, Don was the original recycler as far as recycling his material.
All right, Neil.
And our daughter Kylie's she's in Philadelphia.
She's there, yeah. We'll get to her. She's gonna introduce herself soon. Neil.
Well, I'm Neil Genslinger from Clan Muriel. And why am I so echoey? And look, I'm here with one of the youngest roses. This is Aurora Rose Hawken.
Oh, another
kid.
Aurora.
This is my daughter Emily, who's the mother of Aurora Rose Hawken.
Thank you. Thank you. And Liz.
I'm Liz Rose Zeno, the Frank clan, and I live in St. Paul, Minnesota, but today I'm down in Arizona visiting my mom, Louise, who's also on the call.
Thank you. Mark. Go ahead and unmute, Mark.
Mark Grubb, youngest of twins, 15, in Bernathen. And that's all I got.
Thank you. Candy.
Unmuting. Candy Quintero, Missy's Mazzoli's aunt. You probably know her better than me. Yay, Missy. So great to see you all. I'm in Mitchellville, Maryland, and Roy Rose family. And this is just making me so happy.
Thank you, Candy. Trin Rose.
Trin Rose of Trin Rose Clan in Scottsdale, Arizona. Great to be here. What a fun thing to hear that poem read by everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Karen.
Again, Karen Childs, Donette's daughter. And living in right outside Chicago in Illinois. And Vicki, I would love to keep posted about your March adventure there. We have some other things going in March, so I don't know if we'll have a conflict, but if we don't, I'd love to join you.
Right.
So it would be fun.
Just so people know, that's Missy's opera. That's what she's talking about, going to Missy's opera.
Oh yeah, I was a little too inside baseball there. So Missy Mazzoli, who happens to be on the call and hopefully doesn't feel uncomfortable that we're just calling her out for her amazing accomplishments. I know there's lots of amazing accomplishments on this call, but we are so excited to go see her opera that she wrote called The Listeners. Some of you have already seen it. It's been well reviewed if you read any of the major publications of this nation. So you may have heard of it. But I'm going to put my email. If you're interested in that trip particularly, reach out to me at that VEC email. All right, Chris Clark.
Chris Clark in Tempe, Arizona. I'm the father of Trin Rose and Victoria. And my two sons are having dinner together and unable to join the call, but they would have called from somewhere in the Philadelphia area. Proud and grandfather of Isaac, who's labeled Chris because he's using my setup in the other room. That's all.
Thank you. Louise. And Marin.
Go ahead. Okay. Louise Rose, Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, widow of Frank Rose and father of Jeremy and Liz and Jonathan, who are all here. And very happy to see you all today. I just love being here and seeing you.
And Marin.
And then Marin, child of Liz of the Frank Rose clan. And I'm also usually in Minnesota, but we are celebrating Dad and Muzzy for the next week or so.
Thank you. Cara.
Cara Dom here, again, Sylvia's daughter. And I can't resist noting that there's another Aurora Rose in the Brub clan. A 5th generation Aurora Rose from Trin, Alan, Amy, and Kayla. So that's cool. There's 2 Aurora Roses.
And a 5th generation. Grant and Jeannie.
Grant and Jeannie Genslinger from the Muriel clan in the Delaware Highlands of Pennsylvania.
Thank you. Sheila.
No? Now am I on?
Yes.
Okay. Sheila Mazzoli of the Roy Roses and mother of Missy Mazzoli. So thank you for the shout out. Thank you. It thrills my heart that you're coming to the opera. I'll see you there.
Yeah, good. Good.
And
Mom, you're also the mother of Jessica Mazzoli, just to remind you.
Who's also known as Missy's sister.
Noted poetry reader, Jessica.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't hear Missy reading any poems.
Jessica's the focus tonight. Yes. Jeremy.
Jeremy Rose, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I just wanted, since I had a turn ready, I just wanted to say I'm a cheater. When I read the poem, I usually read it in this book. So thanks, Neil, for putting this book together years ago.
I was I was typing the poem to send around to the readers. I was appalled to discover that I misrendered a word when I put it in my book. I wrote A when he had written the, or perhaps the other way around. So if you have a copy of my book, throw it out.
At least it wasn't who instead of whom, Neil.
Yeah.
Could have been way worse. Thank you. Jessica.
Oh, I think we all know me. I'm here in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. I'd love to go to the flower show trip though, so count me in.
Good. Email that secretary@rosesocial.org if you're interested in that. We'll get someone heading that up. Oh, and also just a side note, who knows the story about Grandma Rose's house coming from the flower show? That was also scavenged, a whole home. Let's hear who was there? Brenda, were you there for that?
Yes.
No.
I think it was the home show, wasn't it?
Home
It
show.
was the home,
Okay.
wasn't the flower
Not the
show.
flower show. Okay.
It was the home show. Yeah.
Okay. Mark, did you have the rest of that story?
No, I am in the middle of doing other things. I heard somebody talk about the flower show.
We're
Is there a
trying.
plan around the flower show? You know, Elsa has been volunteering. She's been running the presentation. They call us the, what do they call us? Anyway, we've been volunteering down there for the last 20 years.
Perfect. Good. So Mark, if
there's a group going or anything, you know, let us know and we'll see if we can talk to the people that run the thing.
Great.
And
What's the date? What's the date? Do we know the date yet?
It's March 1st, I
look it
think.
up.
It's early.
I just got my first emails from them, so it's coming up.
March.
March.
Thank you, Mark. All right,
I
let's
think
hear
it
from
actually starts
Alan.
Oh, so yeah, I'm Alan Rose, Frank's second oldest son, joining you today from Davis, California.
Welcome. Brenda and Paul.
Brenda and Paul Mergen. I'm Muriel's oldest, and we are in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
And Paul is in stiff competition with Barry Genslinger for the Santa contest. Close race.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Barry.
Does that mean I'm next?
Yeah.
So,
After me, Barry.
yeah, Barry and Maureen Genslinger coming to you from frigid Vermont. And Neil, are you telling me with a misprint in that book that the 50 copies that I still have are worthless?
Yes,
Wow.
burn them immediately.
I think misprints make it more valuable. That's what I've always heard. All right, Michelle.
I'm still Michelle Rose, daughter of Donald and Nolene. I'm still in Trinathan.
Michelle has been very active in the health information gathering. Thank you. Chris Clark Jr., I think, is the other Chris Clark, unless that's two links.
I think it's Isaac.
Oh, thank you. Okay, Jonathan.
Hey there, Jonathan Rose, oldest son of Frank and Louise, and renting right now in Bernathen and house hunting in the general area.
Where is he? Good luck with that,
That's
Jonathan.
breaking news for us. That's great.
Thank you.
That's a hard place to get in.
Missed my chance to visit you in Maryland then, darn.
That's right, our little 5-year window elapsed.
Missy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Missy Mazzoli of the Roy Rose clan, daughter of Sheila Mazzoli, sister of Jessica. I usually live in New York City, but I'm here in Costa Rica with my fabulous boyfriend, Scott. And yeah, the show that Vicki mentioned in Chicago is an opera that I wrote called The Listeners, and I would love to see you all there. Maybe we can plan a lunch or a drink or a dinner or something. I love being more connected to all of you, and there's just so friggin' many of you. It's amazing. And yeah, really loving you.
Thrilled to have all of you here. We had a reunion this summer of almost 200 people in the Bernathen area, and the next big one will happen in summer 2027. All right, Kylie. Go ahead and unmute.
Muted. Is muted. Oh, there we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm Kylie. I'm Chaz and Bryn's daughter, and Trin Rose is my grandmother, and I live in Philadelphia.
Warren, or that must be Judy. Judy, are you still there?
Maybe not.
I saw her earlier, so we'll come back if she comes back on the camera. I see Peter.
Unmute. Okay, can you hear me?
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, I was always very proud of being the oldest son of the oldest son, which doesn't actually mean anything anymore. I also was confused as a child with the name Rhodes rather than Rose, but a Rose by any other name is still sweet. So, proud to be part of the Rose clan. So good to be here. Thanks.
Happy to have you. Cara.
Oh, I think I already went.
The
didn't
other,
I?
so there's another, Cara.
Oh, yeah, Cara.
Hi.
Cara.
Hi, I'm Cara Tolliver, daughter of Paul and Brenda from the Muriel clan, and I'm coming to you from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Nice to see everybody. I know a few faces, but not very many. Emily, I'm so happy for you. And Trin, I haven't seen you in so long. I'm hoping to come to some of the events. Happy to be here.
Great to see you, Cara. Alan and Mary, are you there? I see Mary. We'll give you a minute to unmute Mary, and we'll hear from Sony. Go ahead and unmute Sony.
Costa Rica.
Try again to unmute Sony. I wish I could unmute you, but I'm not a host. All right, we'll come back.
Tony, unmute.
I think she's trying to. Let's hear from Angela.
I'm Angela Rose of the Dawn Rose clan, and I am the older sister of noted last stanza reader Michelle Rose.
Wonderful. All right, well, I'll just jump back to Mary and Alan for a moment. So Alan Grubb is the of the Trin Grubb clan, and they're in Bernathen. And Sony, are you able to unmute? All right, having trouble unmuting. So Sony is of the Midge Sonneson clan, and she is living in, did you move up to Maine? Vermont? New Hampshire? We can all definitely tell those 3 states apart. No problem.
Judy Stewart is back on.
Judy's back on.
Oh, Judy. We're just saying names. Go ahead and unmute, Judy. We're just doing names and your Rose connection and where you are. Still muted, Judy. Let's see.
Judy needs no introduction. She's the one who makes those amazing, continued the craft of making the sugar Easter egg.
Okay. Okay.
Really? A couple of years ago, and I have all the ingredients in a bag somewhere, hoping to try it, but that's what I remember Judy for.
Wonderful. So that.
I think I've got my microphone to work.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm Sony. I'm number 2 of the Midge Rose Sonneson clan, but I think the more important thing is that I have a Clan Rose pin here that I got in Scotland, because I went to Scotland this summer with my daughter, and we went to see the original house called the Kilbrook Castle, and I learned about the clan, and here it is. You are all connected to this little Clan Rose button that I think says something about being true. Yeah, it says, be strong and true, constant and true. There it is. And I live in New Hampshire, but right now I'm in Boston doing some visiting of museums for fun. Bye, everybody.
Wonderful. All right, well, we're just about up to the hour here. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Thank you for introducing yourself and keeping this togetherness alive. Again, we do have monthly gatherings where we talk about different topics and connect with each other. We always do a little bit of how are you and hear the latest news about the family. So we'd love to see you at one of those. If you are not on that email list and getting those emails, please email the secretary at rosesocial.org. I was offering to be the point person for the trip to Chicago in March at the other email, vec@nau.edu. And just a big love. So I'm gonna give one more ask a favor of all of you. So one thing I would have loved to do today, but I think we don't quite have the time to finish at 6. But if you do have any Christmas memories of Pop-Up and Grandma Rose, or any other Rose clan Christmas traditions or stories that you're remembering, go ahead and write them down, jot them down. We will use them here, there, or somewhere. But the best way to preserve those is to get them written down. So if you have a moment right now, please write them. You can send them to these emails. You can just hang on to it and share it with your families. But it's a special time of year, and it's special to be here with you.
Can we sing Dance Around the Tree to finish?
Yeah, let's have someone sing it. So again, it works best for one person to sing just because of the way the computer stuff works. So who knows it well that could sing it for us? Trin Rose.
Okay.
That's
Here we
great,
go.
Jeremy.
This is the grub version. I know there's a few more verses out there. I just got a link from Angela Herder's celebration, but here's the version I learned. Dance around the tree, till you can dance no longer. Then when you stop, eat a lollipop, and that will make you stronger. See how they shine, all the pretty lights and balls, oh. All the world is gay, let us be joyful also. Dance around the tree, till you can dance no longer. Then when you stop, eat a lollipop, and that will make you stronger. A Swedish man and his 101-year-old mom sang that to me 2 weeks ago when I sang it at a historic house in Arizona, and they sang it in Swedish. That was so great.
All right. Big hugs to everyone. Thank you for being here tonight, and stay tuned for the next Rose Gathering.
Thanks, Vicki. Thanks, coordinating. Thanks, Neil.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Well, good to see you all. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This makes the roses.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Cool. Happy New Year.
Stay until the bitter end.
Some of us like to stay to the bitter end. I see Alan. Okay,
There's Alan.
it was worth staying to see Alan.
Oh, goodness.
Love you, Alan.
People.
Hi, Alan. Alan, Rob, and Mary. Lots of love to you.
See you guys.
Yay.
All right, Liz, I hope it was okay to send all those people your way for some of those things. But if you're getting things and you're not sure what to do, I'm happy to head up some of that connecting and organizing, and maybe, yeah, we'll see what happens with the flower show. I definitely had no business putting that together because I'm not nowhere near it, but I just thought we can't lose that opportunity to at least have some.
Oh, I love it.
Rose field trip.
Have Mark and Elsa be so involved with the flower show that
Cool.
I feel like it will get some energy.
Yes, love it.
Great fun.
Jeremy Rose said in the chat, putting up the Christmas tree was the only time I heard my father swear.
Absolutely true. Every single year. Trying to put the lights on. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come in.
Love it. I love it.
All right.
Silver dollars. All right. I just am seeing these memes.
Close out the meeting.
All right. Love you. Thank you, Liz, for hosting. Bye-bye. Oh, I hope so. All right. Let's see if I managed to record this for Mark.